Call the June 7, 2022 meeting to order. And please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So did the people tuning in online, did you stand up for the pledge? Just out of curiosity? Okay. Roll call. And,
I need to be appointed first.
yes.
I'll move to appoint Paul Brown as acting secretary for tonight's meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Brown, thank you for assuming these duties for us.
Happy to.
Many thanks.
Hold on, Ron moved that? Ron moved it, who seconded it?
Terry.
Bear with me, gotta get this
Oh,
right.
yes.
Paul doesn't have time to talk tonight.
All right, roll call, Supervisor Fisher,
Yes.
Trustee Aliaga,
Here.
Trustee Brown here, Trustee Nalamatu,
Here.
Trustee Ritchie,
Here,
and Clerk Newbeck and Treasurer Lockman are both absent, plan to be absent tonight.
Actively and productively engaged. Okay. You have the agenda in front of you. Is there a motion to approve or any other action?
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Sorry, Ron.
no problem. I waited.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right, board announcements. Seeing none, I can quickly announce that there are two upcoming Veterans Resource Fairs in the county, one on May 26, 2022, and one on June 30, 2022. And these will be, one is at the American Legion, the other is the Oakland County Conference Center. And this information in greater detail is on our website. And these will be, there'll be all kinds of things to provide assistance to veterans. One other thing is the public should be aware that the resurfacing work on Mabee Road from Dixie Highway to Clintonville will start on June 13. Mabee Road will remain open to traffic, although there'll be lane closures. And the Dixie Highway traffic will be prohibited from turning onto eastbound Mabee Road. So be aware of that.
Let's hope M15's done before that, so traffic quits backing up on M15.
Yeah. Exactly. Any public announcements? None? Saying none? Any public comments? 5-minute allocations. Okay,
About online.
a good point. Anybody online like to make a comment? Hearing none. We have the consent agenda tonight. We have 6 items on the consent agenda. We have approval of the regular Township Board meeting minutes of May 17. We have a request to approve the May 25 check run in the amount of $876,957.39. Ratify the May 27 payroll, $313,596.50. And 2022 external wire EFT ACH transfer activity for 3 months, February, March, and April, in the amount of $1,183,624.73. Number 4, we have request to ratify a 2021-2022 Smart Specialized Services third-party contract. This is through Parks, Rec, and Seniors. Request to approve a 2022 budget amendment number 11, Smart Cares money. And number 6, a request to approve 2022 budget amendment 12, which is to pull unspent 2021 funds for computer installation into 2022.
Did we forget number 3?
2020, number 2 exhausted me so much that I forgot number 3. Request to adopt a resolution establishing authorized signatories for the MERS entity. Okay,
You have to flip, it's 4, 5, 6.
You did number 4.
yeah, I did that.
Okay,
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that.
You
Thank you.
just skipped over to 3.
I just skipped over,
okay.
skipped over 3.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
And is there a
Second.
moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Regular business. So it looks like we have a fair amount of business, but I think it isn't too bad. And just so everybody knows in the public that we will be going into a closed session, assuming everybody votes in favor of that at the end of, after the regular business. So regular business, item number 1 is to approve out-of-state travel to New Orleans, Louisiana by Rachel Thompson. Rachel? HR Director.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Rachel?
So this year, my conference is in New Orleans, Louisiana for my Society of Human Resources Management, which is the certification that the township requires that I have for human resources. So at this conference, I do get 27 continuing education credits towards my certification, so I can continue my certification. It has a lot of various different subjects that are addressed, such as business acumen and employee relations, benefits. There's just a whole wide range. The guest speaker this year is George W. Bush. So I look forward to listening to that at the closing conference. This conference allows me to stay abreast of best practices and laws, regulations, etc. And it was budgeted for 2022. I'm just requesting permission to approve out-of-state travel to New Orleans.
Okay. Everybody has some of the backup information for this. Are there any questions?
I think she should have somebody go along with her, make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
I've never been.
I was gonna tell her she has to bring us all beignets back.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't know
I'll
what that
bring
is,
those
but I'll
back.
find out.
Oh, you'll find out, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe,
They're yummy.
maybe you just mention, because like she said, it's already budgeted, maybe just mention why we require this to come before the board because of out of state, right? With
Right.
anything out of state, we require the board to approve, right?
Right.
Correct.
That is
I don't remember how long that's been that way, but for the public, that's,
Several
it's
years.
kind of a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
right.
That's because it's certainly more expensive.
It's more expensive, you know my whereabouts, obviously, I'm not local or close, I can't just, drive in a whim. I'm out of state, it take a,
Right.
half a day to drive here.
Right.
Right, you can find me now.
And if we have to, we'll find you.
Oh, I bet.
Okay,
I'll move to approve the out-of-state travel for a human resource manager to attend the Society of Human Resources Management 2022 conference in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Second.
Okay, moved in second. Any other questions or discussion? Anybody from the public would like to chime in or question online? Okay, I hearing no questions. Let's have a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
Thank you.
Have a very good, safe, and educational time.
And Benzes for everybody.
Beignet,
Beignets.
yes.
Yeah.
Cafe du Monde.
Once you have them, you won't forget that word.
Yes, you
Yeah.
won't forget that word.
Number 2, request to accept Clintonwood Park pickleball court resurfacing bid, and we have to approve this, or it will be curtains for Derek.
That's right. Rabid pickleball players. Just briefly, the pickleball courts and tennis courts at Clintonwood Park were built back in 2015. They have not been resurfaced. The tennis courts seem to be in pretty good shape still, but because we get 75 to 100 pickleball players almost 7 days a week at the park, they've got wear patterns where they've worn the paint and the non-slip surface all off from all the courts. So we put this project out to bid, and thankfully, we had two companies that bid on the process. Goddard Coating Company out of Pontiac. The owner actually lives here locally in Independence Township. And he called me and said, you know what? My schedule is full for the summer, but I really want this job because I'm a local person and I want to make sure that it's done right. And he said, I really wanted to do some work here locally for the township. So we put in a bid that was almost half of what the other person put the bid in for. And he is going to cram us in his schedule in June to get it done because he knows how important it is to our pickleball community. So we got lucky.
That's great. Is he a pickleball player?
He is not yet, but he may be by the time he's
That's
done
right.
painting. I don't know. I did talk to him though. He did say I've been in touch with the pickleball group and they know that the courts are going to be down for probably 2 to 3 days. Maybe 2 at minimum, and he also said that they would be able to resume play the day after he's done painting and striping, so that's all good news. This is a 2022 capital improvement budget item, and we're ready to roll with it as soon as we can get on his schedule. He should have it done by the end of the month,
Great.
so.
Great. Any questions for the board? By the public? Online? Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move to accept the 2022 Clintonwood Park Pickleball Court resurfacing bid from the Goddard Coating Company of Pontiac, Michigan, for a price not to exceed $24,500, and authorize the township supervisor to sign the contract for services.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Item number 3 takes us back to Bay Court Park and the play facilities. And this is a request to approve a reappointment of capital improvement program monies, kind of a repurposing of monies utilizing a budget adjustment.
Right, and just to explain this one, I'm kind of asking to reprogram some of our capital improvement funds to assist us in getting the playground completed to a satisfactory level. And kind of what this entails is we did our performance-based bid process. We had 2 members of the board that were there during the presentations of 3 companies that bid the project. And to not of the fault of the companies, but I can tell you that the group of stakeholders we had from our playground committee, the board, our staff. We also invited some folks from some different daycares around the community that were, they travel and bring buses full of kids out to this play structure all summer long. We weren't particularly wowed by any of the presentations. And like I said, it's not of any fault of the presenters. What we came to realize through the process was we set this performance-based bid at $500,000, $200,000 of this project almost across the board. I think 150 might have been the low, 189 was the high, was all site work. Because, well, and not that we wouldn't want to do it, but per our Land Water Conservation Fund grant, we are required to meet all the ADA compliancy, which means we have to redo the sidewalks to a 4% grade, all of the entryways into the playground. We also have to add additional handicap parking spaces. So that site work includes the parking spaces, the sidewalks, the drainage for the playground. We realized that with almost $190,000 worth of site work, that's $190,000 that we can't put into actual play equipment. So it really hindered these companies' ability to be able to wow us. As you know, we went out and got the community vested in this because this playground is a replacement from 26 years ago where the community came together and built this playground. And there is a wow factor when you pull up to the playground that's currently there, and that's why it's one of our most heavily visited amenities. It's a castle-looking structure, and when you pull up to it, the kids immediately, their imaginations just go wild. And we have spent too much time on this project to get it to this point to not replace it with something that's equally as exciting. And so what I'm asking tonight, because 3 of our other capital improvement projects are being funded by ARPA funds, we have a little bit of wiggle room to be able to reprogram capital improvement dollars from other projects into the playground to cover those site work costs, so then we can reappropriate that money for the site work back into the play equipment. So that's what I'm asking for you to do tonight. The 3 capital improvement items that are being covered by ARPA funds still have plenty enough money in those through the ARPA funding to get those projects across the finish line. But we have these extra capital improvement funds, and I thought, what a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to put those funds into the site work that we would have to make a capital improvement project anyway to replace the sidewalks and add the parking spaces. So that's what we're asking to do tonight, is to reprogram or reappropriate those capital improvement dollars into the playground fund to cover the site work costs. Learned some things along the way too, and I know we talked to Dan Kelly, him and I and Carrie had met about this. Other communities have a 20% variant in their purchasing policy that if you change the scope of your bidded project by upwards of 20%, that project needs to go back out to bid. We have not, or we do not have that particular language in our purchasing policy, but we thought that because we're changing the scope of this project by $200,000, that we thought it would be appropriate that we rebid the project and go through the process again. So I don't know if you have any questions about that, but
They'll still allow you to finish on a timely basis, or close to it?
we are probably at this point looking at a spring of '23 as opposed to a fall of '22, which in my mind, as long as we get it open before school gets out or before Memorial Day of next year, I would be ecstatic. Honestly, if we rush to get this thing across the finish line and it's in the ground by November, that's just one more winter that it's going to sit there and have water and ice and freeze and thaw on it. So maybe the spring of 2023, maybe things work out for a reason. We have until 2024 to spend the Land Water Conservation Fund grant monies, so we've got plenty of flexibility from a timeline in that regard. Cool thing is, we're still going to be able to get this bid before the end of the year, so we'll get 2022 pricing instead of 2023 pricing. So that, there's a couple of things working in our favor. It's just a matter of, like I said, we didn't realize until we went into the process that the site work was going to be so expensive, but that's a lot of manual labor and things that, asphalt's expensive and regrading and all that sort of fun
So
stuff.
just in terms of full transparency to the public, we're gonna be spending, what, 770,000?
A collection of, yes.
Yeah.
But also, remember, a part of those funds, $200,000 of it is a Land Water Conservation Fund grant. $100,000 of that is fundraising efforts that we've kind of took on over the course of the year.
I didn't mean to
So,
suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
I just want to make everybody aware of it.
well, and like I had mentioned, if we didn't have the grant and we wanted to complete this following ADA compliancy guidelines, we would have to complete that site work on our own, which means I would have to put it in my capital improvement plan in the future to complete it anyway. So we got lucky with the ARPA funding coming through and helping us with some of those other projects, so now we can just try to get it all done at once.
Great.
Instead of putting it
Any other
off.
questions of the board?
I just one comment, I guess, we talked before too about fundraising, continuing some kind of fundraising, even if it's for maintenance of this unit. Like we talked about QR codes or whatever,
Right.
have those available out there for the public. While they visit, they can still maybe donate. and go forward.
We've talked about it as a staff since you mentioned it, and it's something that we're going to pursue. As long as it doesn't entail counting coins or turning in beer cans, then I think our staff will be extremely happy with any sort of fundraising that doesn't involve
What about
counting change.
Bitcoins?
Hey, we'll take Bitcoins.
Count Bitcoins?
Can't go wrong with Bitcoins. We'll take those.
I'm just saying, I think if you have some QR codes out there, people somehow they can, takes them right to a donation page or something, they can maybe donate.
And I don't disagree, because 3/4 of the playground is still going to be manufactured wood fiber surfacing that needs to be replenished and replaced about every 3 summers. So yeah, there is some continual maintenance costs for sure.
And if we get enough money, you can add on to it or whatever, so. Whatever.
Sounds like you want to be our first donor.
There you go. Be ready to do it.
Okay. Any other
I have a
questions?
comment.
Yeah,
I was,
Terry?
I was gonna say something similar to Ron's. My thing, now that this did get extended, maybe take the opportunities of events in our township that are bigger, rather than just the typical flyer about the playground or people who are seeking it out, seeing the Parks and Rec magazine. But we're back to having 4th of July parades. We're back to having Taste of Clarkston. I think if those announcements are made where you have people attending that aren't always in the know, like
Right.
many people, some people might not even be aware this is happening. So if you had something at those larger events and you have people outside our township that might use that facility, that come in here, they might be willing to donate.
I like Ron's idea just because the people that visit that playground and use it on a regular basis are the ones that are probably going to be a little bit more vested. I don't disagree with you. We have a laundry list. We bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars in sponsorships every year, and I know our fireworks just wouldn't up, over half of what we're used to paying for them. So we have a lot of sponsorship opportunities, but this is something that we can definitely continue to pursue. Sure. So.
Anything else? Okay, any members of the public wish to weigh in and discuss this? Comment? Anybody online? Okay, hearing nobody, is there a motion?
Move to approve the reappropriation of the 2022 CIP dollars and approve the following budget adjustment as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Which motion is this?
The third one.
Number 3.
Oh, I got it, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Terrence.
Item number 4, request to accept a proposal for safety path design services with regard to an Andersonville Road path.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mr. McKee.
I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening tonight.
Thank you.
So this project right here is for design services for a small section of safety path along the, I guess we'll just call it the north side of Andersonville Road. In some ways, in some form, it does complement Derek's project a little bit with Baycourt Park, because this is a direct connection to Baycourt Park. So essentially, in the Waterford Hill area, if people are familiar, there's kind of like 2 main roads that kind of cut right through from south to north on there. One's Parview and one's Curtis Lane. There is no safety path along Andersonville Road between Parview and Curtis Lane. It's approximately a little under 400 feet, and there's a lot of foot traffic that goes through there, so they actually have to walk on the shoulder of Andersonville Road, and if anybody's been walking down Andersonville Road, they know that it's like Frogger, and you better be head on a swivel, because it is, people go booking down through there pretty quick. So this project here was brought to before the Safety Path Committee. Safety Path Committee overwhelmingly voted unanimously to approve the design phase of it, so we can get an actual design for the project done. We've been using Nowak and Fraus as our design engineer for safety path projects for a few years now. They've been fantastic, really good to work with, and their pricing is great. We have a contract with them, so that helps quite a bit there too. So the proposal for you tonight, or the decision tonight, is for get board approval for the design services for this section of safety path between Curtis and Parview along Andersonville Road.
Okay, any questions? Very straightforward.
Just a comment.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I work a lot for Curtis Lane, and I went there and visited the area, and I know that people, the neighbors that were asking for this for a
Yeah.
long time, I know that.
They have, and I've received calls myself because they want to get to Derek's Park, they want to get to Baycourt. What better way? This is great. Non-motorized pathways, that's what we're in the business for, and what that millage is for is exactly what we're being requested to do from the citizens of there, to use a safety path to get to the parks they support as well.
So this is all financed through the safety path millage?
This is a safety path village project,
Great.
100%.
Great. Any members of the public have comment, question? Somebody online? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I move to accept the proposal received from Nowak and Fraus of Pontiac, Michigan for professional services associated with pathway design services, Andersonville Road Safety Path Extension from Parview Drive to Curtis Lane, as outlined in the agreement, in the amount not to exceed $15,036, and authorize the township supervisor to sign the proposal as the authorized representative of the township.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is all you have? No, you have another one.
I'm last.
It's not back to back, okay. Yeah. Request to approve 2022 Budget Amendment 10, and this is, involves
Our favor?
CDBG.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Rick?
This budget amendment number 10 is actually twofold. There's two things going on here. The first, I'm sure you've heard this just about every year. We had a couple of invoices that were turned into CDBG for reimbursement late in the year. They did not get the funds to us before the end of February, which is our cutoff for the fiscal year. The funds did come in. They came in March, just not in time to be cut off. So it basically put the CDBG fund in a deficit position by the amount of those two invoices. And all we're doing this year is this needs to be added into revenues, basically offsetting that, that deficit and clearing it out. So that's the first part of this. It's for $4,200 or $325. The second piece, as you all know, every year CDBG releases certain funds, part of which are for minor home repairs. And there are still leftover funds from 2020 that are out there that we have not budgeted, and I was requested to see if we can add that to the 2022 budget to bump up the amount that we have out there, which is actually the 2021 funds. I didn't see an issue with it, so I put it on the amendment here to pull it forward and basically rebudget it, just so they have additional funds to do minor home repairs this year. And those are the two items I have for CDBG.
Okay, and when you say move it forward, it's coming from CDBG, a prior CDBG allocation, not
Yes,
from the
that's a
general
prior
fund.
one. Right, it's from, right, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we're just budgeting so they can use it.
Yeah,
I think this account probably gets the most adjustments through the year, is any account on there, I think, because of the timing. They always seem to be late on their.
It happens almost every year, you know, especially if we have a lot of activity. You know, it happens pretty much every year.
could
Plus
this be
they-
the federal government?
No, yeah.
Plus, they require you to keep track of the 2020 money, the
Yes.
2021 money. Everything has to be spent
Yeah.
per that.
Yep, and it has to go in that order, so we'll spend 20 money before we spend 21, and so on, yes.
Any other comments or questions?
Move to approve the 2022 budget amendment number 10 as presented.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Anybody from the public have anything or online? No? Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Another budget, 2022 Budget Amendment 13. This is really just creating a general account for ARPA money.
That is correct. You know, as everyone knows, in 2021, we got our first, I guess, payment of the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds, of $1.9 million. We're expecting another $1.9 million in, I believe, October of this year. So we'll have a total of, actually, it really comes out to a little better than 3.8 million. It's almost 3.9 million. But in order to actually spend these funds, starting with this year, we need to establish a budget. And that's really what this is all about. The budget was based off of a couple meetings ago. We had a special meeting to talk about ARPA and how the different funds wanted to use those dollars. And the budget's been basically structured after that. So, you know, the amount that was for DPW is going to DPW, the amount going to the general fund, to fire, and so on. So I basically structured the budget the exact same way. And again, it's just a budget, just establishing, you know, some points out there for people to use, and also recognizing the revenue that are going to come into those funds as well from the ARPA as well. So
And
but
those
that's-
allocations are really what was discussed at the last meeting,
that is correct.
including the one that's coming up next for IT.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? Or any questions? Any questions in the public? Online? Okay, is there a motion to create this budget?
Move to approve the 2022 budget amendment number 13 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion here? Any member of the public have a question or comment, input online? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick.
Item number 7, request to approve the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, spending not to exceed $300,000 for IT data center optimization. Aaron? This is a catch-up situation.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening. So with the aging infrastructure we found at the township based on the needs, this will utilize ARPA funding to refresh our server infrastructure, our network infrastructure to meet the demands of the township. Presently, we've been receiving a lot of slowness issues and things of that nature. So this will right-size it, future-proof it for at least 3 years, so there won't be any more budget impact. And it will also cover us for licensing of all the products we're currently running.
I like how you said that, so you're writing down, signing blood that 3 years, for 3 years, he won't ask you for any more money.
That's right.
No, I said just for this part.
Oh, just for this part. I heard, the only thing I heard was that he
Yeah.
wasn't gonna ask for any more money for 3 years, so.
Any other comments, questions? Members of the public? Anybody online here for this item?
Yes,
Okay.
I would. My name is Tom. Good evening.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, I'd just like to give a vote of confidence for Aaron in the project that he has presented for you. I hired Aaron 22 years ago when I first moved to Oakland County as my IT director, and he has done a phenomenal job. And when this gentleman says that he's put together a budget that will cover things that he needs for now and in the future, rest assured, he's dotted his I's and crossed his T's. Vote of confidence on Aaron.
Thank you very much, Tom. Any other comments? All right, is there a motion to approve, or I'll take other action?
I'll move to approve the ARPA spending not to exceed $300,000 for the IT data center optimization to properly size the IT data center primary site, town hall, and secondary site DPW, and approve the procurement of data center equipment and licensing from the Oakland County government to government contract number 006559, and authorize the township supervisor to sign the agreement.
Second?
Moved and seconded to carry this project out. Any other discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're gonna change the scope of your project now to a smaller one.
Now to the wee one.
Number 8, air conditioning.
So as you know, we've received some of our newer equipment and includes the security systems, cameras, and things of that nature. With that type of equipment, it is very sensitive to temperature. As you can see in the hallway when you guys walk in. In excess with that door shut, the room reaches over 96 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like the danger level for the equipment. So this will be for a mini split unit to keep the room at a crisp 65 degrees, and will also be on the generator in the event of a failure.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Members of the public? Anybody online? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of, do we have a motion?
Nope.
No.
I'll move to approve the budget amendment number 14 and authorize the township supervisor to sign the agreement with Goya Mechanical for a 2.5 ton mini split air conditioner unit in the amount not to exceed $8,990, and approve the 2022 budget amendment number 14 as presented.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, and Aaron, this is for the material or products and the installation?
Correct.
Correct, okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Great.
Thank you, everyone.
Good luck.
Item number 9, the last item on the regular business before other things occur, is the larger project for Mr. McKee this evening. Bid and proposal for professional services and construction of a major water main to serve an area east of Clintonville Road.
That's correct. If the board recalls, part of our ARPA spending plan was the department directors came and presented to the board what we would like to do for ARPA expenditures. This is one. This is 100% an ARPA expenditure, and this is for a water main extension along Pine Lab along Pine Knob Trail, Sunnyside, we call it the Sunnyside and the Pine Knob Drive Water Main Extension Project. So in your board packet, you can kind of see the layout of the project, the scope of the project. So essentially what this is going to do is going to give another line of feed for water for all the communities that are Clintonville Road to east and to the northeast of I-75. We kind of have a little bit of an issue there right now that everything right now is currently being fed by one water main that goes along Mabee Road, essentially Mabee Road and Clintonville Road. So if we did have a problem right there, there's going to be lots of community, lots of homes that are, you know, are going to lose water pressure. We can't have that. This project right here has been water modeled, and we ran it several times for a water model that the board was is aware of and approved to get that done for us, which turned out really good. Numbers don't lie, as they say. Rick, right, Rick? Numbers don't lie. You know, when it comes to that, we ran several scenarios on there with the water model, with and without this project, and it was pretty clear that this project was a must-have, really. So it just kind of worked out really good with the ARPA funding that this water project will give us nice redundancy and improved water quality, firefighting capabilities, more consistent pressure, especially with that section of the township where there is a lot of development going on. There's more homes going in, that's for sure, and we just want to make sure that they don't have any issues on our end. So we're going to make sure that they have plenty of water, and it's good water, and it's safe and reliable, and we'll be there for them. So this is an expenditure through ARPA funding for that, and we did put this out for bid. We received 5 bids, and the great thing about this is the bids came in, the low bid that we're recommending tonight came in under what we expected, and that includes the engineering piece of this too, because there's 2 things on the motion tonight. There's a construction engineering firm to oversee the construction of the project and the contractor to install the project. Both of the proposals from them 2 entities came in still under the budget of the ARPA presentation that I gave to the boards a few weeks ago, which is great. So that opens up essentially almost $200,000 of ARPA funds that can be reallocated for other projects in the township. So this really worked out pretty good. So tonight I'm here to seek approval for Superior Excavating for the construction piece of this project and do the installation, and for DLZ Michigan for the construction engineering of this project.
Great. And just to clarify for everybody, this is not, we're not talking about doing anything that's a luxury, or this is best practices to provide a loop system to make sure you have that redundancy.
Yeah, absolutely. And also in this project, what we're doing, I just really want to point this out, and there's, you know, not going to be a cost to any of the property owners. Everywhere where this new water main is going, we are pre-tapping that water main for each parcel along there. So in the event that they wish to connect in a future date, if their well goes bad or something happens, we won't have to dig up and disrupt everything. There's going to be a connection point right there at the property line ready to go. So everything is going to be pre-tapped as well. Installation of the water main plus the pre-taps for all the parcels along the route of this project.
That's a good plan. Yeah. Ron?
Is this going to be like linear board put in, or are you digging a trench and laying the pipe?
Most of it's going to be directional drilled.
Okay, so
Most of it's going to be directional drilled HDPE. We have a river crossing to go. If you go down that road, there is the Sashabaw Creek, so we're going to go underneath that. That'll be directionally drilled with 12-inch HDPE pipe. The beginning of the project, there is some ductile iron pipe that's going in. So, and that's from on the very east side up to, I want to say, from Sunnyside up to Cecilia Ann, I believe it is. There's going to be dual water mains on both sides of the street, because there's one right there, but it's an 8-inch. 8 inch is too small, so we're going to run a parallel 8-inch on the north side for 500 feet or so. Then that will converge into a single 12-inch, directionally drilled all the way to Clintonville Road, tied into the water main that goes north and south on Clintonville Road. We're going to have a nice redundant system right there.
that should help minimize, though, the construction of, for the neighborhood anyway.
Right, yeah, directional drilling is, most people are doing that, and it's, it does cut down on the restoration. A lot of places you get into tight areas or a really densely populated little town, the restoration costs alone could cost twice as much as putting the water main in itself if you have to open cut, rip out sidewalks and everything.
Does the directional bore go below tree roots?
Yes. Yeah, it'll be a minimum of 5 foot deep, so we don't want the water main to freeze.
Right,
So,
of course, yeah.
yeah.
But going, that's, I can't believe a 12-inch bore, that's huge.
Oh, they do 60 inch, they directly
Really?
drill 60 inch.
What distance do they go, linear distance?
Typically, a pole of this nature will probably be in the neighborhood, probably 400 feet, I'm thinking, maybe 400 foot a pole, and then they'll do it again.
That's
But there's
unbelievable.
some where they can go a lot longer.
Let's get stuck.
Yeah, but that does happen. But there's, I know of a project that's going on that DLZ has been working on. They're doing a directional drill of a 60-inch line underneath Saginaw Bay,
Oh,
or Bay City, up in Bay City somewhere.
yeah,
So it's amazing what they can do.
it really is.
An HDPE pipe is really nice. You can probably see it's black pipe, really thick walled, flexible and move. So we're iron pipe and ductile iron pipe, very, very strong, but you do have breaks with those. And
Thanks for the lesson on this too then tonight.
appreciate it.
Any other
Anytime.
questions, discussion? Members of the public? Anybody online? Okay, seeing and hearing none, is there a motion on this item?
I'll move to accept the bid from Superior Excavating of Auburn Hills, Michigan for professional services associated with Sunnyside Drive and Pine Knob Trail Water Main Extension in an amount not to exceed $1,298,835.25, and to accept the proposal received from DLZ Michigan of Waterford, Michigan for professional services associated with construction engineering of the Sunnyside Drive and Pine Knob Trail Water Main Extension in an amount not to exceed $115,000 for a total project cost of $1,413,835.25. Authorize the supervisor to sign the contracts as the authorized representative of the township, and approve the 2022 budget amendment number 15 as presented.
I second it.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Rick. Never. Dave.
Without objection, before we go to take up the closed session thing, I just mentioned item N, so in case people don't want to wait. Item N, communications, future agenda items, reports. Number one, there's a report from the building department, monthly report, for May 2022, and communications, Michigan Liquor Control Commission, transfer of ownership of escrow 2021 Resort Class C license from AJ's to Clarkston LLC. Are there any other comments from board members before we? Okay, is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss a confidential legal opinion pursuant to Michigan Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268H and MCL 15.2431G?
So moved?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second, roll call vote.
Trustee Brown, yes. Trustee Nolamatu,
Yes?
trustee Ritchie,
Yes.
trustee Fisher, Supervisor Fisher,
Yes.
trustee Aliaga.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. So we'll only be coming back to adjourn. So we've covered the agenda otherwise.
Yeah, that's on here too.
And we're going to talk about the sheriff's department millage.
I think you have to say the time
Pardon?
for the record.
Time, 6:45. in the boardroom. Is there a motion to go back into open session?
Move to go back into open session. I don't think we've ever done that before.
Really?
I think we just.
We have
say
to-
we're-
We just,
We have to make a
Yeah.
motion to stop the closed session.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
So move to end the closed session and return to
open session.
open session.
Yeah.
Six,
Second.
7:13.
Okay, moved and seconded. Jose seconded. Ron moved and Jose seconded.
and now I can make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I'm sorry,
I gotta vote.
Jose
Oh.
and then Ron?
Ron moved, Jose seconded.
Jose.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously approved. That means we can come out of closed session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Welcome back. I move to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
Jose seconded.
Did you second that?
Yeah.
Okay, Jose seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are
We're
adjourned.
All right. Have a good night.
7:15. Not bad. A lot of business.